Hello, everybody. How is it going? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you some NBA player props to hammer for today, Wednesday, December 14th. So we had a pretty insane slate of basketball yesterday with a bunch of blowouts and then multiple ridiculous comebacks in the Lakers Celtics game. Fun night of basketball. So for tonight, we have a bunch more games. So let's get into it. The first one that we're going to go ahead and lock in here is this Franz Wagner under 2.5 player assists. So of course this is a positive expected value play found using OddsJam. The play is at plus 120 odds at BetRivers. Can also get it at Unibet, Barstool, and TwinSpires. So let's chat about it. Number one, you want to look at these no vig odds here. So these odds, no vig odds, you can also, I like to call them the OddsJam perfect line. They can also be viewed, they can be viewed as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. So in this case, all of the sharp sports books in the world, which is where this is pulled from, think this should be priced at about plus 118, plus 118 and a half. And we're getting it at plus 120. So all of the smartest sports books in the world are saying, hey, we think this should be priced lower. It should be priced closer to plus 118, which gives it a win percentage of about 45.77. BetRivers is giving it to us above that amount, and above meaning more favorably, more like a higher payout for us. So that makes it a profitable bet. And then, of course, you want to look at where every other sportsbook is pricing it, because just because we're getting a positive EV play, that's obviously a good sign, but you want to compare the bet you are placing to the rest of the sportsbooks. So let's look at what we have here. Plus 120 at BetRivers. The closest book is Caesars, only 4 cents lower at plus 116. And then look across the board at every other book. Pinnacle, and this is important, Pinnacle is the sharpest sports book in the world, plus 105. BetOnline, another very sharp sports book, plus 105. DraftKings, which does a pretty good job specifically with player props, plus 105. And then the rest of the books, FanDuel plus 104, PointsBet plus 105. All of them priced almost exactly 15 cents lower than the BetRivers line. So this is a clear outlier compared to the majority of sports books. And when you're betting on player props, you want to make sure there's 3 books that you want to look out for and make sure that you are an outlier to those 3 books, which I already mentioned just to confirm. Pinnacle right here, BetOnline, and DraftKings. If you're betting on player props and the player prop you are placing is an outlier to those 3 books, that's a good sign that you're placing a profitable bet. Now, of course, you're not going to win every single bet that you place. I think one of the most frustrating things about sports betting is just the nature of variance. And I can show you my stats. So these are all pulled from using the OddsJam bet tracker. The bet tracker is also completely free. So if you do want to use it, just sign up. And then if you click this plus button, you can add it to your bet tracker. But as you can see, my profit over time graph, when I first started, I was very risk averse. I didn't place a lot of bets. I had a lower bankroll, but started off with incredible profit. I started betting a lot more. I started increasing my bankroll, and we see these swings, right? Down a lot, up a lot, down a lot, up a lot, down a lot for a long period of time, up a lot, down, up. So you kind of understand the ebbs and flows of sports betting when you see a graph like this. Of course, when you're in the middle of it, it's very, very frustrating. So I definitely understand. But if you look at the totality of it, I've been using OddsJam since the beginning of football season last year, of the 21 football season. Only have 3 down months. Now, of course, it was 3 down months in a 4-month stretch, which was awful, and it sucked that it all came at that one time. But 3 down months out of 16 months of using it, it's really good. And we see profits as high as 3K, 2.8, 2.2, 2.7. And the lowest profit I had, the worst loss, was 1.8. So just because you are placing positive EV bets that are mathematically profitable, it is sports betting. The bets still have to win. And an unfortunate reality of sports betting is variance. But if you are continually placing positive EV bets, it'll work out in the long run like it did for me. You just might have to accept some variance. So regardless, the first play, this Franz Wagner under 2.5 assists, plus 120 at BetRivers. The next play that I was going to look at is this in the Pistons versus Charlotte Hornets game is Killian Hayes over 2.5 rebounds. Again, on BetRivers / Barstool, Unibet, and TwinSpires. at minus 125 odds. The OddsJam no vig line prices this at about minus 127, so just below 2 cents higher than the BetRivers line. And then again, look where every other sportsbook prices it. Pinnacle has it at minus 157. BetOnline, minus 148, 24 cents higher. Even the other sportsbooks that are kind of close, like as you can see, they're shaded green, minus 138, minus 140, still 13 to 15 cents lower than what BetRivers is giving us, closer to the BetOnline line, and about in between the Pinnacle line. So pretty good price here that BetRivers is giving to us at minus 125. These no vig odds, the true line gives this bet about a 56, just below 56% chance of hitting. And this, if you're wondering where that comes from, and I find this fascinating. Not everybody might, 'cause not everybody's a math guy like me, but all odds have a win percentage associated with them. So basically, whenever sports books are pricing odds, all they're doing is giving a win percentage to that bet, saying, hey, we think it's going to win this percent of the time. You just need to make sure that you, of course, remove the vig to get the true line, which is exactly what OddsJam does here. So like a plus 100 bet has a 50% win percentage. A minus 200 has a 66%. So if you're ever curious about the win percentage of your bet, you can either use the odds converter calculator here and type it in, like minus 125 is 55.56, and that's the odds we were placing it at. The no vig odds, the true odds, has it at minus 126.72, which gives us a win percentage of 58.59, so above this 55.56% number. It's another way to think about positive expected value. And if you back up a little bit, the literal definition of positive expected value is placing a bet that you know as a sports bettor has a higher percent chance of occurring than the reflected odds that you are getting, which is exactly what's happening here. So we know that this bet is going to hit 55.89% of the time thanks to the OddsJam perfect line. We know that the implied odds of minus 125 are only 55.56. Our number's better, but it's positive expected value. So the second play, Killian Hayes over 2.5 rebounds. The next one I was going to go ahead and lock in here. It looks like the odds changed, but actually in my favor, so I'm going to keep this one. The odds actually changed in my favor, is Isaiah Stewart under 8.5 rebounds. So it's actually plus 100 at BetRivers, so it's even more positive EV than it was. The no vig line, the true odds, priced this at about almost exactly minus 104. We are getting it 4 cents lower at plus 100. And then look where every other sportsbook prices it. So again, we're getting it for plus 100, which is a 50-50 win percentage. You place 1,000 bets at plus 100 odds, you win half of them, you're breaking even. Anything above that, you're profiting. And look where the sportsbooks price this. Pinnacle favors it going under. They have the under priced at minus 125, the over at minus 106. They're favoring this under, as is BetOnline. The under's at minus 119, the over's at minus 109, favoring the under. Same thing with FanDuel. DraftKings has it at 50-50. Caesars actually favors the over, so they're the only one outside of BetRivers that favors this going over. And then Pinnacle favors the under as well. So every book, except for two, or I guess I should say except for three, favors the under. DraftKings has it at 50-50, right? We know that this is, DraftKings thinks this is 50-50 to go over or under because they don't have any side priced heavier than the other. Minus 115 on the over, minus 115 on the other, under, favoring. I'm not favoring either side. So this Isaiah Stewart one, another good bet, and this is going to be my third and final player prop for today. So if you are tailing any and all three of these, comment and let me know. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.